Hello, everyone. Welcome to Grey Matter Talks Tech, a podcast for devs and IT pros looking for tech insights and best practice. I'm today's host, Martha Head, Mapping Account Executive at Grey Matter. It's my first time hosting, and I'm delighted to be joined by the amazing Justine Coates from Microsoft to chat about maps in the Fabric, migrating to Azure Maps, and more. Hello, Justine.
Hello, Martha. It's always great to talk to you. And now everybody else gets to hear what you and I talk about all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Lucky them. Cool. So getting straight into it, Justine, could you tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, I'm Canadian. I was born and raised in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I love to ski, and I'm a graduate of the University of Victoria on Vancouver Island. Go Vikings. And I have a bachelor's degree in software engineering, and I started at Microsoft in 1999. So I've been at the company a while, and I've jumped through lots of different jobs. So that's where I come from.
Amazing. And obviously you've been at Microsoft for a long time. Can you share how Microsoft has evolved since you started, particularly regarding female representation in tech, AI advancements, and the impact of COVID?
Well, my perspective might be a little unique because I used to joke that when I started at Microsoft, I had my own bathroom with 4 toilets, but it's really not fair. There were a number of excellent women in my team. You could count us on one hand kind of thing. Today, it's a lot better. We've got a lot more women graduating from programs. When I graduated from my program, I would say less than 10% of the graduates were women. They just weren't drawn to technology. And I think that it's certainly changed over time. And there's a lot more available now. But I think schools are still not putting out, let's say, 50% women and 50% men. So I think it's still challenging today to find women that are interested in doing my job.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's super important. The representation we need, definitely. And with regards to mapping technologies, how would you say that's changed during your time from Bing Maps through to Azure Maps?
So when I started at Microsoft, maps were really only available on CD. Like you might remember Encarta or Streets and Trips, or you could carry around a portable navigation device that were purpose-built by Garmin or TomTom.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we really have the world in our pocket on our cell phones.
Yeah.
And you have many choices for maps applications. I think I have like 7 installed on my phone just because it's kind of my business. So I was on the team that built Windows for Automotive when I started, and the OS for those portable navigation devices was the same one that was in those in-car devices. And I worked on things like Ford Sync. I worked on actually Windows Phone, and the operations were all in Windows Embedded. But now that Windows Embedded is sort of gone, I needed a new home. And that's when I came to Bing Maps and Azure Maps. And sort of now I went from being on the device side to being on the cloud side. So it's the same sort of thing. When I started, you had to have a device that had the map on it. And today, you really don't. So long as you're connected, you can get the map at any time.
Yeah.
The reason that we are really moving from Bing Maps to Azure Maps is to get into that Azure enterprise structure, whereas we have a newly minted SaaS architecture, and we want to deeply align with the developer experience that we offer as Microsoft through Fabric. We're very keyed in on being developer friendly and giving great performance, but we also realize that we are a global product.
Yeah.
Our data still serves Bing. So we need to be a multi-source. We're an AI managed map data, and we scale globally. So we try to cover as much of the earth as we can. And in order to do that, you need to partner because there is no one good coverage. So we build a production grade, API first, focused product for developers, and that is our goal. We are, as Microsoft, a very developer-focused company. Now, when you need help, you should be able to find something. I wrote a blog that says where to get help for Azure Maps, and hopefully one of those channels will work for you. But you've always got Grey Matter. Gray matter is directly connected to me, as you could tell.
Yeah, for sure. And with Bing Maps approaching end of life, why is this happening and what steps should active Bing users consider in preparation, would you say?
Bing Maps isn't really ending. It's sort of like when we were talking about those CDs versus what we have today. Things are constantly improving. So we're just getting ready for what the world needs today. And the difference is that when we made Bing Maps 15 years ago, the product needs were very different than it's changed. And even in that product itself, it has changed massively over the years. You probably remember things that were like virtual Earth and all that sort of stuff. We went from running Bing Maps on basically two computers on a pipe to now it being a cloud service. And so with it being a cloud service, we wanted to put it in the same secure environment where we put all of our developer tools at Microsoft, which is Azure. So you get the same great data that Bing Maps has, but now in the Azure compliant environment.
Yeah. Sure. Perfect. And with that in mind, are there any key dates or milestones that Bing users should keep in mind?
Well, July 1st, 2028 really isn't, it seems so far away, but it's not really as far away as you think. So it's better to look now than later.
And looking at the future, what steps should active Bing Maps users consider in preparation?
So when you think about making software, you want to deliver something that is fully capable for your entire corporation.
Mm-hmm.
You want to use production-capable APIs. You want to know that the location data is there and the primitives that you need in order to start with are all available. We offer a multi-sourced and AI-powered set of geo-capable APIs, and they are put in a developer-friendly package with all of the stuff that enterprise customers of Azure demand. And you get all the benefits of the fact that Bing is our customer and requires such worldwide coverage. When you think about how you're going to use it, it's not really something that you can think of as just, hey, this is a UI widget, we're going to plug it in. You want a fully capable suite for things that you are shipping so that you can rely on the technology that we provide you. And that's really our reason for moving into that space.
Yeah, exactly. And what features or capabilities make Azure Maps particularly powerful for SDCs?
So when you think about making software and you want to deliver something that is fully capable for your entire corporation, you want to use production-capable APIs. You want to know that the location data is there and the primitives that you need in order to start with are all available. We offer a multi-sourced and AI-powered set of geo-capable APIs, and they are put in a developer-friendly package with all of the stuff that basically enterprise customers of Azure demand. And you get all the benefits of the fact that Bing is our customer and requires such worldwide coverage. When you think about how you're going to use it, it's not really something that you can think of as just, hey, this is a UI widget, we're going to plug it in. You want a fully capable suite for things that you are shipping so that you can rely on the technology that we provide you. And that's really our reason for moving into that space.
Cool, perfect. Can you share some notable examples where developers are driving innovation with Azure Maps?
So we have some really great companies and partners that use our product, and so I'll highlight a couple of them. The big thing these days, and the team that I was actually on before I came to this Maps team, is IoT and the idea that you have things that you need to watch. So that Internet of Things, people really kind of forget that it's so much stuff that you want to watch where it is and what it's doing at what time.
Definitely.
Companies like Tag DAT and SSE. They use it for site safety and construction logistics, like where's that digger today and where are all my people around it and are they staying safe? You can use geofencing, you can use all that sort of fun stuff in order to ensure that you have the right things at the right place at the right time and the right people there and that they are in the right place. So there's a lot of great stuff that you can do with that. One of the fun ones that I like is also Fathom. They actually are monitoring one of the most dangerous highways in my province. I don't know if you've ever watched any of those shows. There's one called Highway Through Hell or whatever, and they're all around British Columbia, like the Coquihalla and the Highway North. What Fathom does is they actually put in sensors in different locations along that road, as well as on the trucks themselves. And they read actually the road surface, they read the temperature, they take track of the weather, and they have their own reporting for exactly what's happening on the road at that time. And it's amazing. It's an amazing sample of what you can do and the power of a road network that can report to you and tell you, hey, wait maybe an hour when this thing's going to be warmer because right now it's an ice sheet.
Or there's been a large accident, it's not worth going right now, or try tomorrow, or it's safe to go now and go ahead and drive it. These sort of things you sort of understand are required when you want both equipment and people to arrive at appropriate times. And then last but not least, I'll put in a little plug for our new Maps and Fabric. We align with a group at Microsoft called Fabric RTI, or Real-Time Intelligence. And that's the idea that you can use a digital twin and a fabric map and do incident management for all of your things that have live data that have a location context. So if you're monitoring trucks that are doing delivery, if you're monitoring taxi traffic, if you're doing anything that has a location context, you can use our weather APIs. You can use all of the things in the suites for Azure Maps in Maps and Fabric. Thanks, Justine. It's great that you touched on Fabric. For those new or starting to explore Fabric, can you just share a little more about it?
So I think we all know that maps are ubiquitous today. We have them all, and we've sort of kind of grown numb to how special they really are. Our tagline for Maps and Fabric is making spatial not special, which means we want to make it available to everybody without effort. So Fabric's real goal is to basically allow people who are not developers to make software. And when we make it available without effort, kind of like what's on your personal data device or your cell phone today, it's not how a deeper developer analyst would get insights from the location. You may not be a developer, but you can see on a map where things are, and you can immediately make understandings and judgment from them. And so a low-code to no-code step for you to get those sort of insights is offered through Fabric.
So, Justine, I know we talk all the time, regularly, monthly basis, even more usually. But what has your experience been like working with Grey Matter?
So Grey Matter has been an amazing partner for Maps. I have actually been an evangelist for Microsoft for more than a decade, and I've worked with a number of partners, but Grey Matter really has a genuine engagement philosophy. You love your customers, you represent our technology with the same pride that we have for it. And I am a direct technical resource for you, which is why we talk all the time, but it's always a positive conversation. We always are looking for progressive solutions to help customers and to bring them to the best solution that matches for them. And I love working with you, Martha. We have great chats all the time, and I'd love to someday meet you and we'll share a cuppa.
Yeah. And also, just to echo what you said, but your support from Microsoft has been just second to none anyway. And I know I've already said that, but it really has. It's just, yeah, it's excellent. It always is.
So what people might not know about me is that my role at Microsoft, I actually also run the support team. So when customers call and they have an open support case, they can talk to, they'll get my email contact on the bottom of their email messages. So there's a real full circle here.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think that brings us nicely to a close. But Justine, thank you for discussing Azure Maps, migration, Fabric, etc. And for those of you listening, if you have any questions for either of us, please email info@greymatter.com. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe to the podcast. We've got loads of great episodes coming. Thank you.